Hello and welcome to Where the Living Room Used to Be, a podcast about Rhode Island's music scene. Hey everyone, it's James. On this episode, Jon Hope shares some things he's learned from other hip-hop stars, what he feels you can do to find your truest self, and what it is that moves him down his musical path. Hope you enjoy, and I appreciate you checking out this mini episode. If you like it, please tell a friend, and leave a rating or review wherever you're listening right now, as doing things like that can really help spread the word about this show. Thanks! Jon Hope, I wanted to ask you, is there a piece of advice, maybe music advice or just advice in kind of like general, that's a mentor, a teacher, or a producer, fellow artist gave you that resonated, that kind of stuck with you over this time that you would like to share?
Yeah, I would say Nipsey Hussle. He tell me directly, say, "Yo, Hope, this, that." But the biggest piece of advice that I got from him was, to lay a brick every day. Every day, and eventually you build a wall. You know what I mean? And to master my energy, to master myself. That's the biggest. You can't do it all in one. Heaping.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But it's like, if you can wake up, you have tasks, you have goals, knock those goals out, eventually you'll see you got something going. And I started that, that mantra, or that piece of advice, I got that, in 2014, and I'm seeing the fruits of the labor, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm seeing it kind of manifest with my company, Zane Butler. Just being more intentional, being more strategic with, as an artist, as an entrepreneur. So yeah, I would say lay a brick.
Yeah. Are you pretty regimented with that stuff? Like, do you have, a lot of plans that are there, that are kind of set up, structured?
Yeah. I definitely, everything from, we have a content calendar. I have, a task to do, I'm sort of even intentional about sharing, yesterday on Twitter, I shared, I have 9 tasks today. I've gotten, 2 done by 10 o'clock. And you know what I mean? My daily stuff, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I definitely, I have daily tasks that I adhere to. Sometimes I get to them, sometimes I don't. But yeah, I'm very strict about it.
Yeah. That's good advice to have, but yeah, I mean, that kind of ties in with the next question, like from your years of being an artist and being a performer, songwriter, entrepreneur, educator, what have you learned over this time that you would like to share with someone else?
I think what I learned is that I like to share is just that, is that you are enough. I think we, and it sounds so fluffy, but it's a very loaded sentiment, because we have so many distractions as human beings, so many forces that implicitly and explicitly try to keep us down, like the gravity of life, there's a lot of, we as human beings operate with resistance, in a way, paying bills, just relationships, all these things, I don't want to call them distractions, but they're all things that, school, work, all this stuff, they all it's not that they're distractions per se, but they all get in the way of, they're all barriers of achieving your fullest self. You know? Like, you know, sometimes we have to make, you know, Tupac talked about taking penitentiary chances, right? Like, you know, sometimes we have to make decisions based on the circumstances that we're in, not based on what we really want to do or what, you know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah.
Or what's going to maximize our potential. And so the sooner that we can recognize that and cut through those things, you know what I mean? And live life to the fullest. That's where like the potential is. That's where you realize your potential. Everything is, you know, is all distractions. It's all distractions. So you have to really like cut through that, you know, and get to your most authentic self, because that's where the win is. That's where you know, that's where you start to see the success and the happiness and then, you know, the financial fruits and things of that nature. Like, it took me a minute. Like, I just got there, you know what I mean? And I'm starting to see that manifest. I'm starting to see what that looks like. So, you know, whether it's like through music or Hope Scholars Initiative, you know, my clothes, the clothing line, whatever the case may be, it's all with the intent to make you maximize who you are.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
That's what all this is all about. That's what really THS is all about. That's what all this is all about. The sooner that you could get to the path of becoming your fullest version, you know, that's what I'm trying to do.
Yeah. And I mean, like, what comes to mind is, you know, like those types of exercises of like, you know, reflect, like being on your deathbed and reflecting back on like, man, I wish no one's like, I wish I paid those bills on time more, you know, it's like, I wish I spent more time with my family, or I wish that I had done that artistic endeavor, period, or done it earlier, or whatever else it is. And just trying to recognize that stuff before it's too late. And I mean, I guess I've been blessed. I mean, we've talked about it in the other segment of like, you know, there's a level, and I'm grateful for everything, but there's a level of sacrifice that goes into being an artist, you know, like there's, you know, holidays that you're not around, or there's like all that kind of stuff. But I'm just grateful that, you know, a lot of my 20s, I did that because it's just stuff that people can't take away. Like, you know, yeah, sleeping on someone's floor in Wisconsin, you know, like I've got that, you know, and and it, you know, it's led me to friends. It's led me to be who I am. You know, it's led me to talk to you right now. Like, I mean, I wouldn't be doing this podcast if like music wasn't in me, and I didn't have this, you know, passion to try to document this stuff and keep that out there, you know. But yeah, I mean, it is just an important thing to kind of look at now. And yeah, I mean, especially, I mean, social media, like they're robots that are working to steal our attention, you know, like with and pull us in. And again, you know, like no one's going to be at their deathbed be like, man, I wish I scrolled a little bit more, man. You know, like I wish I liked more posts, you know, like, but it's what can suck us in. And I'm guilty of it too. Like where,
1000%.
You know, like I wish I wasn't like checking Instagram instead of like hanging with my kids, you know. And I feel like I do keep myself in check, but I need to do better with that stuff. So, I mean, it's good to just be reminded and, you know, hear you kind of talk about that. Cause, yeah, it's the stuff that like really matters, or it's, you know, creating the art that really matters. And again, with what you've done, you know, with what you've, done with Hope All as well, like that piece is going to live on forever, you know, like, and again, you're doing some stuff that I think people are going to look back on and, you know, there's some flags in the ground. There's going to be some stuff that's referencing, like you're doing some classic work, some future classic work right now. And I think that it's amazing, you know? So, and then, you know, last question for this piece right here is like, I'm always just curious as an artist, like what inspires you? And I mean, it can be what inspires you sonically, musically, or it can just be generally in life. Like, what is that that, you know, what inspires you to put that next brick in the wall? What inspires you to put the next foot in front of the other, you know?
Well, you know, for me, you know, from an artist standpoint, it's, you know, I feel like I haven't written my best song yet. You know, that one is the one I haven't written yet, you know? So.
Well, damn, because you've written some pretty good songs, you know?
You know, so that's kind of how I, you know, that's from an artistic standpoint. And then like now, you know, now what inspires me is how do I, again, you know, I talk about, you know, being an independent artist, and it's like, how do I make this thing, this brand, this music, this art, this stuff that I've worked so hard for these last 15 years, how do I make that, what does that look like in the next 15, 20, right? Like how do I, you know, scale this and grow this? And like, what, you know, is it documentaries? Is it hosting? Is it, you know,
I gotcha.
You know what I mean? Like what is the next iteration? You know what I mean? Obviously I'm still going to be doing music, but like, what are the possibilities? And like, you know, seeing what I was able to do during a pandemic, you know, during, you know, these constraints, I'm excited and inspired to see what I'm able to do now that things are opening up, and now that, you know, my profile is raised, and you know, I'm you know, developing more relationships and with different people. Like, you know, so that's what's inspiring me. Like, what can I do now? Like, cause if this is what I was doing with ankle weights on, you know, like, you know, I'm excited about what's next.
Yeah. Even just the unknown, you know, like just I just wanted to uncover those next things. Yeah. That's cool. Yeah. Well, Jon, thank you. Thank you for sharing this stuff. It's super on point, and I appreciate you bringing it up and sharing it with everyone that's listening, man. It's cool.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thanks again for checking this out. What I have for you next is a performance of Jon's song Black Rose from his appearance on BAMS Fest. He recently did this live stream show and interview, and I highly recommend you checking out the full event. I will leave a link to that in the show notes, and also make sure to catch the album release party for Hope All Is Well to see him live in person with a full band on September 15th at the Met in Pawtucket. Until then, enjoy this track.
Streets won't grow as long as we doubt it. We on go as long as we got it. Whole streets won't grow as long as we doubt it. We on go as long as we got it. Whole streets won't grow as long as we got it. Ladies and gentlemen, we on go. Welcome to the Jon Hope Experience. We got it. Black rose, I'm a black rose in the pavement. Don't water me. I speak truth can be costly. I got drive no car keys. This is no innuendo. Why see the world through tinted windows? I'm never low key, but high key. What I say in vain is IV. Shut up. Man in the mirror looked me in the eye, said I am enough. Shut up. I don't want your truth, your culture, man. I am enough. Shut up. Red blood, white lies. Oh my ghetto sings blues. Shut up. One taste of the oh man, I never think too. On a late night, a dream told me, man, run fast, never slowly. When you catch me, just use me. Better level up, don't abuse me. On this loose leaf, I pen that. My melanin, please respect that. Got dark shades for your eyesight, cause this future gon' shine bright. Ayy.
If I had $1 for
Ben Smith, what up?
You said you were real.
How you feeling?
If I
Listen,
had $1,
if I had $1 for every single time someone said that they real on everything I love, on my daughter, I'd be a millionaire.
Every single time.
You know what I would do with that much money? No cap. If I had $1,
every single time,
like became millions,
I would have
I'ma tell you what I would do. Hey, I would buy me me a town. You can keep the chains too. I will buy me a town. You can keep the chains too. Said I will buy me a town. You can keep the chains too. I will buy me a town. You can keep the chains too. Hey. Oh, I like this vibe. Yeah.